So B'ezrat Hashem tonight, going to learn about something, one of the most important topics that can change our life, can change our feeling, can change our perspective, can change our behavior, or chas v'shalom can destroy our life, our relationship, our career, our self, and most of all, our life. And this is the topic that everybody struggles with on a daily basis. This is fear and anxiety. Especially in our generation, 2022, in our generation, most of the people almost going through fear and anxiety at least once a day, once a week, once a month. One of the top pills for today is for anxiety. You know what's the name of the pill? Xanax, exactly. This is more than 60% of the American people, they take it on a daily basis. This is unbelievable. For what? For anxiety, for fear. This is one of the sickness and the plagues that we have today that people going through in their life. And the question is, first of all, why we have fear so much? Why we suffering for fear so much? Why God makes us fear for so many things around us? Right? And what is the difference between fear to anxiety? How can we deal with fear and anxiety? How can we face it? How can we solve it? How can we remove it? How can we deal with that? Sometimes the fear and the anxiety can makes us, block us, and freeze us that we can't even do anything. We can't even function, we can't even think. We're losing our mind, we're losing our peace. We can't even focus on anything. We don't know what to do. We're afraid to go out of our comfort zone. We don't see any solution when we face fear, when we face anxiety. So tonight, B'ezrat Hashem, I'm going to talk about this amazing topic that it really gives you a little bit of tools from this week parasha. This is actually last week parasha, Parashat Vayishlach, but we can learn from the Torah sources and from the Kabbalah how to deal with fear, what to do with that, and how we can solve it and make it the best moment in our life. Instead of running away, instead of freezing, instead of going crazy, instead of screaming, fighting, losing our mind. So B'ezrat Hashem tonight we're going to learn about it. We're going to learn all the tools from Yaakov Avinu, how he dealt by himself in front of Esav, his brother. When he meet his brother Esav with 400 people that wants to destroy them. And he prepare himself. And he have exactly the strategy how to face the fear from him. So we're going to learn and dig it inside B'ezrat Hashem to see how we can work on ourselves and how we can deal with fear in our life. Because today, a lot of people, almost every person have fear since we're born. We have something that Hashem put in our body, that this is instincts that can save our mind, and this is called survival mechanism that God's put in our life, in our soul, in our body, that when we face fear, our body react in a different place. Our body, our blood go to a different parts in our body that we can run much more faster. Our eyes become much more wide. We can see, we can face a dangerous situation, tragedy, trauma, whatever we face, enemy and anything, or a snake and anything like that. Our body function in a different way than in usual. You can see it recently. Somebody sent me in Netflix. They have I don't know, it's called human being or human, something like that, that they describe exactly what's going on in our mind when we face fear, right? But Chazal said that Hashem makes us and put inside of each human being the fear in order to survive. Without fear, we cannot survive. There is a people that don't have fear for anything. They can get in dangerous situations. They can jump from airplanes, do a lot of crazy stuff, cross the road in the middle of a lot of craziness just to take a very specific video to get some likes and to go crazy. There's a lot of people that don't have even the sense of heat. They can touch fire, right? So they not even recognize when it's hot. So God gives us the sense of everything to understand how to be survived. Since we're born, we afraid to climb, we're afraid of heat, we're afraid of falling, we're afraid of failing when we grow up, we're afraid of being rejected, we're afraid of being not to be enough. I'm not going to be enough, I'm not going to be loved. One of the most fear that people going through, I'm not going to be enough, I'm not going to be loved. This is one of the most fear that people have. But Chazal said, Arizal said, that every fear that people going through, everything, the source of fear come from fear of death. Fear of death? Yeah. Everything that you're afraid to losing your house, you're afraid to losing your spouse, to losing your kids, to losing money, to lose your health, to lose your mindset. Wait, I'm gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. But you're afraid to, sometimes you're afraid to sin, or you're afraid to be more religious, you're afraid to expose yourself, you're afraid to be vulnerable, to let people know who you really are, right? You put so much mask. You're afraid of somebody catch you, or somebody knows, or your wife catch you in a text message, or she see where you're going in the website, or what you're looking for, or she catches some here, right? We're afraid of so many things. We're afraid from tests. We're afraid from flights. We're afraid to be in the closed places, right? So many fears. How many people are afraid to fly? Raise your hand. A lot of people, right? I'm going to tell you after what did I did when I scared to fly, right? But we have a lot of fear. Sometimes it can be mentally, sometimes it can be emotionally, sometimes it can be something that we feel it. We feel something like going on. We start to breathe very heavy. We have some sweat. Our heart beating going very fast. Sometimes we don't know what is that. So tonight, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to learn why we have it, how we can face it, how we can make it the sweetness, how we can make it the best moment in our life, how to change and to turn fear to our inspiration, to something that inspires us. How to change the pachad, it's the same word, otiyot, dachaf, right? If you change the word, pachad is fear, dachaf is something that pushes you. Right? How to push, how to go for it, not to be afraid. And it's okay to be afraid. It's something natural. It's something that calling you. If you are afraid of something, a lot of people are afraid to talk in front of people. Pachad mikal, from crowd. They got in stuttering. They got in choked. They get freezing. They forget what to say. Some of the people are afraid to fail in the test. They got blind. Right? They don't know the answers. Right? Even they learn so much and they know it, but in the moment they got freeze. Right? So it's okay. We'll learn about it, how to deal with it. B'ezrat Hashem. Right? Some of the people afraid from their wife. This is one of the most common fear that people are going through. And this is one of the things that important to be afraid from your wife. I'm going to explain why. It's healthy, but not too much. So let's begin and start. What is exactly fear? What is the difference from fear to anxiety? And how we can deal with something that we experience, okay? So first of all, Chazal said that fear, פחד פחדתי ויאטני. Right? Eov said, את אשר יגורתי בא לי. הפלא יועץ, bring the Arizal, he said, פחד, the ערך פחד, you can see the value פחד, and פלא יועץ, he said, every person, Hashem, give us the pachad, the fear of anything, and it's something good for us in order to survive, that we said. But when you fear from something that is besides God, or besides something spiritual, you're afraid that something gonna happen, that it might happen, might lose, might happen to me, I'm not gonna be healed, something gonna happen to my career, to my relationship, to whatever you call it. You bring it to happen, okay? You make it happen on the field by thinking, by having bad and negative thoughts. You're creating sense of fear in the universe. You're creating something around you that can cause the problem to come. How is that working? I don't know if you remember, we talk about it in the class that we talk about the law of attraction. ברוכים הבאים, ידידי, יצחק אקרמן, ברוך הבא, אוהב ארץ הקודש. עמדנו ביחד בכולל, בישיבה, איזה זכות. Give him a hand, yes, give him a hand. עלי בסוף נשמע כמה דברים. עזרת השם. So anyway, so the Pele Yoetz says like that. He said that when we fear, when we face fear, it's something that calls us and something that we face in order to make the change, in order to make us aware of what we need to do, right? But fear is something that is different from anxiety. Even sometimes it can be the same feeling. Fear, it's something that we feel in our body, in our sense, in our veins, that we feel like kind of heat, or we start to sweat from something that we facing anything that's dangerous, or we think that it's dangerous. We see a car coming, we right away, our senses going 10 times, like we said before, in order to survive, in order to run. So we have three things what our mind instincts doing. It's called the 3F. Or fight, or flight. No. Fight, freeze, or flying.
Yeah. Fear.
No, flying.
Like
to flee, to get away.
Fly, exactly. Fly is to run. בעברית זה או להילחם או ברח. Or freeze. Or you freeze, when you face fear, you freeze, you don't know what to do. Something pointing you with the gun, or someone dangerous, or any kind of situation. You freeze, you don't know what to do. Or you fight, or you run away. Right? Hilachem או ברח. Right? So when we face something that's dangerous, it's actually happening. Fear is something from happening in the reality. You see it, you feel it, you experience it, you heard something. It could be fear of noise. Boom. That's the Gemara said in Barot Nunhei, לא נבראו ברקים ורעמים אלא לשבר הקומיות שבלב. Right? Barot Nunhei, סליחה. The Gemara said that the fear of stutter is because Hashem wants to wake us up. Right? To make us a little bit straight. Right? So it could be a fear from noise, fear for something that comes into your face, right? Or fear of a kind of animal, it can be. Right? So fear is something from something that happened in the reality. Anxiety is have nothing to do with the reality. You can sit here in the class right now, or you can be in the event, or you can drive in your car, or you can go lay down on your couch or in your bed, but you feel something, I can't breathe, I don't know what's going on with me. And whoever experience anxiety know exactly what I'm talking about. Who experienced anxiety here? Raise your hand. Right, quite 50%. Right? I, by myself, 6 years ago, before 6 years ago, I didn't even heard about the word anxiety or חרדות. מה זה וחרדות? Even the Torah said, ויחרה ליצחק חרדה גדולה עד מאוד. Right? I didn't know what is that. But when I experienced it for 8 months, almost 8 months, I took so much pills, so much things to stop it. Nothing happened, nothing works. I remember myself driving in the car, and I can't breathe, I can't sleep, I can't function, I can't even think about anything. It literally frees me. Because I've been experiencing bad situations in the previous community, but whatever kind of abuse or something like that, that makes me really fear all the time, and you can't even run away from it. It's experience that you're going through, but it's your mindset. It's not happening in the actual world, right? So fear comes from, anxiety comes from a negative thoughts that comes consistently all the time. And you think about it, what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what should I do, what should I do, what should I do? Instead of thinking positive, you think it always negative. So you become something that you can't run away from it. And as long as you dig and you think about it more and more, it becomes part of you, and then you feel anxiety. Right? So what should we do? How can we get root from it? How can we deal with fear or anxiety that we're going through? Why did Hashem did it? Okay, so tonight, Bezrat Hashem, we're going to learn how to deal with it by 3 levels that the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh give us the secret from Shlomo HaMelech, that he said one pasuk that we can learn from it, the 3 levels how to deal with fear. Okay? Shlomo HaMelech said in Mishlei, the Gemara bring this pasuk. In Yoma Daf Ayin Hey, the Gemara said, De'aga belev ish yesichena. The Gemara said, what is de'aga? Something that you worry about. De'aga belev ish, something that in your heart that you worry. What should I do? What's going to happen? What's going to happen with myself, with my shidduch, with my kids, with my health, so many things. De'aga belev ish yesichena. The Gemara said 3 explanation what it's yesichena. Yesichena, which mean in English, you should, whatever you worry about, you should talk about it. You should experience by say it. Or yesichena with samech, which mean to remove it, distract yourself from this de'aga. Or yesichena le'acherim. Right? Or to talk to other people. You're going through a divorce. You're going through financial situation. You're going through whatever. Go to the rabbi. Go to the consultant. Go to the coach. Go to your friend. Whatever. Or the Gemara said, Yashchena. Yashchena from the word lekofef. Shachuach. Shachuach to... How you say lekofef? It's like to bend it. Okay? So again, so we have the pasuk, de'aga, worried in your heart. De'aga belev ish, whatever you worry about, you should or distract yourself, remove it from yourself, or talk about it with others, right? Or what to do? To bend it, to make it smaller. Okay? I'm going to ask a question. A lot of people today, especially in the coaching world, that we talk all the time, all the mentors talk about how to think positive all the time. Be positive, don't worry, don't pay attention. This is good or bad? I should be positive all the time? Or should I worry sometime? It's good to be worried or not?
Be positive.
I have bills to pay. I have rent. I have mortgage. I have a lot of things that I need to take care of. What do you want me? No, be positive. הכל בסדר. Smile. Are you serious? How can I smile? I have $100 and tomorrow I need to pay rent or whatever. So what should I do? It's good to be positive all the time or no? Rabbi Nachman said like that, Torah Lamed Dalet. He said, it's not true what people think to be positive all the time. You should be positive most of the time, like 90% of the day, and at 10% of the day, I mean in the evening, sit down and make some calculation how to pay some bills before the electricity will shut down, right? But those people who ignore totally from what's going on is not good. But we will learn tonight how can we be positive and still deal with the fear or with the stuff that's bothering us the most. Okay? So let's go back to the Baal Shem Tov. He said like that. Baal Shem Tov said we have 3 ways how to deal with fear. He said from a different for a different contents, for a different perspective. For something else, but I use it for fear. But he said from anything that you want to deal with, this is the 3 levels. He said like that. There is Shlav ha'achna'a, the first one. The first one, ha'achna'a. When you face a fear, when you have something that you're dealing with, whatever, you're afraid that your husband is going to go away, your wife, she's going to leave you, you're afraid not to get married, you're afraid that you're not going to get healed from this kind of problems that you're going through, you're afraid to lose your house, you're afraid from anything that you're afraid of, you're afraid that your kid's going to go off the derech, chas v'shalom, or something going to happen, or something going to happen to me, something going to happen to my parents, my siblings, or something can happen to the community, or whatever. First of all, what is the first level to do? Not to knock it off. Not to try to avoid it. Not to try to push it away from you. First of all, surrender. And listen, it's very important. You can do it in your house. Whatever you have, if you have got a pen or you want to write it down, you can write it down. The levels, you can do it in a practical way in your whatever you're going through. First of all, Shlav ha'achna'a. Shlav ha'achna'a. First of all, Yeshchena. Yeshchena titkofef. Surrender. It's okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. Now I'm facing a headache, migraines, problems. Okay, I'm facing financial situation. Now I'm facing whatever spiritual situation, whatever I'm going through. My yetzer hara, evil inclination, test that I'm going through, or any kind of fear. You take in the fear, first of all, you surrender. Right? Yeshchena. What is Yeshchena? It's not just to surrender, also to minimize, to make it, to look at the fear, and to see what am I afraid of. Take the fear, write it down, and look at it. What am I afraid of? What am I feeling? I'm afraid to talk in front of everyone. I'm afraid to sing. I'm afraid to publish my book. I'm afraid of opening a course. I'm afraid of giving classes. I'm afraid of doing something with my life to inspire the people. I'm afraid to make any deal or any business. I'm afraid to, whatever you're afraid of. What am I afraid of? It's not so big. What I'm getting shocked. What I'm getting freeze. First of all, look at it. See it. What do you feel? Feel it in your heart. Look at this. And make it small. Yeshchena. Surrender. First of all, don't try to avoid it, because this is for Hashem. Hashem is a reason why you're facing. There's something that you can change your life or make the shift to use the fear as your inspiration and pushing you to this next level. Right? So first of all, you write it down. What am I afraid to lose my house? Right? What's going to happen? Maximum, I'm going to go to the rabbi's house. No, okay. I'm gonna go live in the shul. What's gonna happen? I have my parents in Israel. What's gonna happen? I'm afraid that I'm gonna die. Are you afraid you're gonna die? Most of the fear, again, what the Arizal said, the source of fear, it's afraid of death. According to Judaism, we know exactly every minute what's going to happen after death. People, most of the fear that comes from everyone, פחדו בציון חטאים, the Gemara said, Bachot Samech Aleph, come from our fear, from our averot. We're going to talk about it after these 3 levels. But what am I afraid of? You write it down, you feel it, you see it, you smile to it, right? And you try to minimize it. To minimize it. How can I minimize it? To make it, what's going to happen? The worst scenario. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? I'm still alive. I'm afraid to die. Hashem love me. Nothing going to happen to me. Hashem give life for 8 billion people around the world. What should I be afraid of? Nothing going to happen to me. Hashem give me a life for the last 20, 30, 50 years. Nothing going to happen to me. I'm not supposed to be afraid of anything. Right? I'm afraid not to be succeed. I'm afraid not to be whatever. What's the worst case scenario? Tamid, you start from the bottom. To take the picture and minimize it. That's exactly what Yaakov Avinu did. What he did, first of all, he prepared himself for 3 tactic situation. Doron, Tfilah, Milchama. Right? He said, אם יבוא עשיו אל המחנה האחת ויקהו, והיה המחנה הנשאר לפלטה. What's the worst case scenario? I cannot control and save everyone. I'm taking the risk that it could be that one of the camp, I'm going to divide the camps to 2 camps. What's going to happen? The worst case scenario, he's going to hit one of them. He's going to be busy shooting, fighting. I'm not going to have enough time to save everyone. Okay, at least some of them, or one, or whatever, most of my family we can save. Even Ezra said, Machaneh Achad was the slaves and the animals and all the other stuff. The other camp was Rachel and Leah and the other kids. So what's the worst case scenario? So you minimize it. What's the worst case scenario? Okay, I'm not going to get married. Okay, this is my tikkun. I'm still alive. I'm going to enjoy myself. Right? What's going to happen? Chas v'shalom. B'ezrat Hashem, everybody will get married this year. Whoever needs to get married. So, but I'm still alive, right? You can minimize it by writing down, what should I do about it? Instead of being fear, what is my options that I can deal with this kind of health problem, financial problem? What is my friends, family, financial situation? Where can I get loan? Where can I get some co-signer? What should I do? Whatever. Make it the worst case scenario and then start to think, how can we minimize it instead of freeze or going crazy or getting stressed? Because stress, this is one of the killer that can, oh, what should I do? No, relax. Okay? This is surrender and minimize it. That's the first things that Yaakov Avinu did. First of all. The second one. Shlav ha'avdala. The Baal Shem Tov called it. The havdala is the, how you say the havdala? It's like to make the difference or this.
Separation.
Separation. Exactly. Separation. What is a separation? Is to see the problems that I have, make a list, all the problems that I'm afraid that I'm not going to get married, or my kid's not going to get married, or they're going to go off to that, whatever you're afraid of. I'm going to make the stuff that I'm afraid of, but you also make the list, all the stuff that I have, and appreciate, right? All the good things that I have. Shlav ha'avdala. Right? How can you make it? Shlav ha'avdala. We can make it by recognize the good things that Hashem gives us and we appreciate, right? And to look, oh, I'm not, you know how many people, they have worse life than me? I'm still okay with all that. I'm still have $100 in my bank account, okay? I'm still alive, I'm still function, I'm still okay. I can go to the hospital and see what's going on there, or chas v'shalom, other people that really got in a situation that I don't want to be, right? So I'm still okay.
Proportion.
Right? Proportion. Exactly. Who said that? Proportion. Exactly. Make it shlav ha'avdala. Right? This is yesichena. Yesichena mida'ato, from put it away from your head by making distinction. What should I have? Yaakov Avinu said you can do it by prayer, by meditate, by being grateful. You remember the class that we talk about how to be grateful, about gratitude? We did the meditation, remember? Make a list, all the good stuff that I have that I'm not aware of. I take it for granted. You take it for granted you have kids, you take it for granted that you be able to function, to talk, to see, to walk. Right? You take it for granted you have roof above your head. You take it for granted you have community, that you have a rabbi, that you have a class every Tuesday. Right? So make, right? Yeah, you can clap your hands. Yes. So Chaim, you didn't clap your hands. So anyway, Yaakov Avinu said, "Atzileni na miyad achi miyad Esav." He can be my enemies, but he can be my brother. It can make the difference. It can make the avdala, the difference between what's bad and what's good in my life. When you pray to Hashem, when you connect to the word of prayer, to the word that you make really holding yourself for a couple minutes, and you see all the good things that you have, you can distract yourself from the bad things that you're going through by making the biggest list of the good things that you have. So I'm not in a bad situation. It's okay, I have 5, 6 problems or whatever I'm going through, but I have 19 or 20 or 30 things that I have grateful for. So I can minimize the fear, I can minimize the stress, I can minimize, okay? What is the third way? So we got the first one, achna'ah, surrender, or minimize the problem. It's not so bad. I'm okay, I can handle it. I can work on it. The second, make the separation from the bad and the good stuff that I have. Okay? The third level, what is that? What is the third level? השלב השלישי? יסיחנה לאחרים. The Baal Shem Tov call it שלב ההמתקה. Make it sweet. Make it sweet, you get to the recognition. The problems that I'm going through right now is not a problem. My problem is my gift. My problems in my relationship make me appreciate my husband more, my wife more. My problems in my kids make me appreciate them more. Appreciate my health, appreciate my financial situation, whatever I'm going through. So my problems, he is my gift. How can you change it? Shlava Amtaka, you're not afraid. First of all, you minimize it, you face it, you see it, you feel it. And then you make the separation to see that it's not so bad. But whatever you got in the end, you got some problems, you got something that you're going through. Yes, I'm afraid, yes, I'm crying, yes, I'm suffering, I'm struggling, my husband, my kids, my health, my happiness, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough, We're going through a lot. But I can make it the sweetness. My problems, whatever I got through with this partner, with this guy, I got kicked out, I got divorced, I got whatever, anything. This is my gift. This is the best thing. Change your expectation to appreciation. You remember, You can change the moments or the problems that you have gone through in your past and change the feeling about it by changing the interpretation. You remember we talked about it. We're not suffering from the events that we're going through. We're not afraid from the things that we think that they might be against us. We're afraid or we feel bad about stuff because of our interpretation. It's for a bad interpretation. We put the subtitle, it's bad. That I got kicked out, I'm not married, I'm 30 or 40, oh, I got that, oh, my kid's going that. You think that it's bad. But if I'm going to open the computer of God, I'm going to show you what really you're supposed to get. How you really his life supposed to. How much inquiries you have on your credit. How much collections. You're not supposed to live in the house, you're supposed to live in RV somewhere in whatever. You're supposed to have one child maybe after 20 years. You're not supposed to have kids maybe, chas v'shalom. Or you're supposed to die 20 years ago. Or you're supposed to whatever, to grow up in a family that the father is alcoholic and abusive mother. Who knows? You appreciate what you've gone through? You crying all the bad things, or you're stuck in the past because you have bad interpretation for the events that you went through. You think that it's bad for you. But if I'm going to show you the computer that the moment that you got divorced, so the tsar, the painful, the suffering, the struggling that you went through, it's your tikkun for your neshama. Because of that, you're going to get whatever sachar in olam haba. This is your tikkun, finish. With this wife, with this partner, with this guy, or the money that's still from you, or the painful in your health. This is the best for me. This is the moments that I can shake and kiss my problems. This is very high level in emunah. You remember we talk about the model Efrat? Efrat, which means Aleph, irua, event. Pei is pirush, is the interpretation. There is event. Chas v'shalom, accident. There is pirush, interpretation for the event, right? That leads to what? Reish is the regesh, the feeling, leads to the feeling, good or bad, whatever I interpret. It's bad or good. And then taf, it guva, it's action. How should I act about it? When you go, you remember we talk about it many times. When a person have the interview for a big company, with big salary, he run to catch the bus. He missed the bus in 10 seconds. He cried, he screamed. It's good or bad? He missed the bus.
It depends.
He cursed everyone because he thought he's bad. After 5 minutes, his friends come with a nice Tesla. I can take you a ride to this place. It's good that he missed the bus. Now he can come faster, right? He said, wow, it's good that I missed the bus. I just catch a ride to the same building that I'm going through. After 10 minutes, he got a crash with his car. It's good or bad that he catch the ride? Bad, right? He crashed the car. He went to the hospital. He said, okay, I missed the company. I missed my opportunity to get some money, to get this kind of job, whatever. It's bad. After 1 week, he woke up. Who is sitting next to him? The partner of the CEO of this company sitting next to him. Hi, how are you? How can I help you? Who are you? He said, I was supposed to have an interview a week ago. He said, I'm the partner of this CEO. And you got it. So it's good that he missed the bus and he got crashed and he got... So it's all about your perspective. Yaakov Avinu said, he prepared himself, Doron. Doron tefillah, milchama, Doron, this is the last level. What does Doron mean? Matana, gift. He gave to Esav. Because in order to fight, Esav represent the evil, the stuff that we're afraid of. That we can't face it. Oh, Esav, what's going to happen? He's going to shoot me, he's going to kill me, he's going to... Nothing going to happen to you. And whatever you went through in the past, whatever you're going through right now, it's good for you. You struggle spiritual, you struggle with the Yetzer Hara, with Esav, it's good for you that you fight it, which means that Hashem give you a test, which means that you in the front line, in the army, you're not making chavitot. in the back, Jobnik. You're in the front line, you're getting all the shooting, right? You're afraid there's so many things that are going to happen or could have happened. Change it. It's the best for me. God loved me. Hashem ohev oti achi ba'olam. Hashem loved me the most. The Hashem Tov said, if you could have imagined that Hashem loved the biggest Rasha in the world more than you love the tzaddik in the world, can't even imagine. So if you're afraid that you never get chas v'shalom, get married, or this problem will be solved, this is the mindset that you need to change, because the problem that you're going through, it's temporary. It's not permanent. Whatever you're going through right now, everything can shift. Yeshuat Hashem ke'erefayim. Hashem can give you salvation in a second. He can give you the shidduch. He can give you the happiness, the health. He can give you kids. He can give you... Everything is possible. There's nothing that Hashem cannot do. It's all about your mindset, how much you believe in God. How much you believe and trust that Hashem will do the best for me, whatever. What is the difference between emunah and bitachon? Emunah, I believe in God, is kol yachol. He can do everything. What is bitachon? Trust. I trust him that whatever he did is good for me. So I accept it. You know the button accept? You never read the above, but you just accept. Accept. I accept. So first of all, I surrender. I minimize the problem. It's not so bad. It's okay. I still can fight shidduch. I still can work with my son. I still can find their house. I still can, whatever it is. It's not going to be 5 bedrooms. It's not going to be 3. It's going to be 1. I'm not going to be on the street. I have friends. Make it. What I want you to be afraid of. Because whatever you're afraid of, you call it. Hello, come. It's going to happen, chas v'shalom. You know, I cannot even describe how many things that I was afraid of, or I said I will never, I will never do 1, 2, 3, and it's exactly what I got. It's exactly what I got. Because whatever you're afraid of, it asher yagor tibali. It's in your mindset. It's law of attraction. Whatever you think bad, you call it to happen. It's in the universe. You can call it in many, many ways, but it's in your emunah. What do you mean it's your emunah? When you work in a new vessel, that I am ma'amin be'emunah shlema. I am believing God in my whole heart that everything, whatever I'm going through, it's the best for me. You trust Hashem that it's the best, good for me. I don't know why. I'm not asking questions. I know for sure that it's good for me. So calm down. So relax. What do? The Zohar Kadosh said, whoever talk to Hashem about his problems, and he said, Hashem, I trust whatever you do, it's good for me. Just give me a sign. Give me the strength. Give me the knowledge. Give me the feeling or the strength to go through it. Or to show me the salvation. And if you be appreciative, the Zohar said, Bo she'arav betodah. If you want to open the gate in heaven or salvation, say thank you. How should I say thank you? Yes, say thank you not just for the good things. Say thank you also for the bad things that I'm going through. Bo she'arav betodah, when you say thank you. When you recognize that this is the best for me. Right? So that's why Yaakov Avinu teaches us exactly how to fight against the Esav. With these 3 levels, but it's many more. Hazal said, as we mentioned before, Pachdu betzion chataim. The Gemara brings the story about one of the Amoraim that he found his friend, a rabbi, come to the shul, come to the Bet Midrash, and he was shaking. He said, well, what are you shaking? What are you afraid? He said, Pachdu betzion chataim. No, he said, it's good to be afraid. It's good to have fear. He said, no. If you want to be afraid, the good fear that you're supposed to have, how can I know all the Torah by heart? Be afraid that you, chas v'shalom, will finish the tikkun here in the world and you not finish the shas. This is the good things. You change your fear to push yourself. I'm afraid I have to learn more. I have to know Shulchan Aruch. Why? I didn't finish Masechet this month, this year. I'm getting old. That's good. I'm afraid I didn't do enough mitzvot. I didn't do enough chesed. I didn't do enough tzedakot. I'm not fulfilling my mission in this world. I'm getting old. This is good. But if you're afraid for nothing, pachdu betzion chataim, he said it's because you fear. So what did Yaakov said? He said he sent angels to Esav. And he said, Koto meruna adoni le'esav im Lavan garti, va'echar adata. Tell them that I was living with Lavan, the biggest thief in the world, and I didn't learn from his bad behaviors, bad lying and bad cheating or all the stuff that he was doing. I didn't learn from him. What did I do instead of? Lavan garti, Rashi said, Tariag mitzvot shamarti. Ma kesher? You know, Esav, I keep Chalav Yisrael. Don't worry, I keep Chalav Yisrael. I'm not talking between Mayim HaChoinim to Birkat HaMazon. Are you serious? I keep also Bishul Yisrael, Pat Yisrael, whatever Yisrael on the list, I'm keep. Are you serious? Who cares? What do you want to tell me? Tarag mitzvot shamarti. And he told them, Vayini shor v'chamot, tzon v'evet v'shivcha. I have also cows, I have sheep, I have goats. Who cares? You want to fight? You want to talk to me? You want to make me down? You make me come? So I learned from it. He said, I'm not afraid from you because Tariag mitzvot shamarti. I have the power of the Torah. I have the power of the mitzvot. When you learn Torah, all your fears goes away. When you connect to spirituality, your fears goes away. You can face another fear, not to be enough in front of Hashem. Hashem, chas v'shalom, how we can be embarrassed. I'm not going to be enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. But connect to the Torah. Connect, do more mitzvot. Stop do chataim. Stop do bad things. Tariag mitzvot shamarti. I have the tools. I have the package. I'm not afraid from you. Who are you? Right? How I didn't learn from Esav? He tell him another secret how to face with fear. To avoid sin, do mitzvot, and what else? Vayili shor v'chamor. You know how I didn't learn from Esav? For me, how a person that goes to the refet, the cow places, how you call it? Farm. Whatever. How those people who works there, they're not starting to do man. How? They work all day. That's what they heard. I learned in Kfar Hasidim up north for a year. So it was very close to the refet over there, to the farm, all day long. How you not talk? Because they're animals. I'm a human being. It's not even. I'm not going to get influenced. Even everybody get influenced by the society. We're not because, right? So Yaakov Avinu said, you know how I didn't learn from Lavan? Vayili shor v'chamor, all of them like shorim, chamorim, all of them like donkeys, all of them like, not even close to me. I'm not letting the environment or the society to influence on me. You know what makes us fear the most? Social media. News. You're watching the news. Plane crash. Accidents. Problems. Plagues. Boom. Tsunami. Boom. Da-da-da. It's the storm. Wow, what's going to happen? The economy. People crash. The most billionaire, the crypto, got... he lost everything in one night. Wow, what's going to happen? No, not yet. Dangerous goes higher. The people getting sick every time. A lot of people die from cancer, from so many. So we always, what are you feeding your mind all day long? Some of the people eating breakfast and, oh, he died, he hit his wife, he killed his wife and his kids, he slaughtered them. Maaseh. That's why you feed your mind all day long. That's what we feed in our mind. Remove it. Believe me. Sometimes You need to see chadashot, you see what's going on. But in order to get so involved, not to be, but to get into it, to see all the bad things and all the, I'm not even talking about the movies, all the stuff that makes us blind and makes us bad information, toxic to our thoughts. Of course we have a negative thoughts all the time. See how many people got divorced this year? You see how many people got sick? You see how many people got, their kids got off the derech? You see how many people got, yalla. You let other people to influence you. That's why you have fear. That's why Yaakov Avinu said, "Vayli shor v'chamor." I can be and I can live in the most thief guy in the world, but I'm not influencing anybody. I'm building my family. I'm focusing on myself. I'm working day and night. What should I do more? I'm asking a good, empowering questions instead of asking bad or disempowering question. When you have or face a fear or problems, what do you ask? What should I do? What should I do? How can I solve it? How can I do? Who's going to help you? You always focus on the bad things instead of focus, how can I see it? How can I solve it? What's option? What do I have available? Right? So when you face it and you work on it and you see that it's not so, it's okay. And if you face it or you can't get out of it, what should you do? Start to pray to Hashem. Go to the beach, do meditation, stand in front of the ocean, scream to Hashem, Hashem, I'm going to get married this year, I don't care. Say it. Say it. You can say it, you can scream. You know how many times I did it? Almost the cops catch me one time. I'm going to the ocean all the time. Right? You do it for the to grateful, you're talking to Hashem. Nothing gonna happen to me. I'm always gonna have money. Say it. When you say it, you train your mind to think all the time and to be focused on what's good. Because if you want to focus on what's wrong, remember what we said, what's wrong, always available. You know those people who are available at 3 a.m. in Facebook or WhatsApp? Always they see online. They never go to sleep. You can text them 3 a.m. literally. Hi, what's up? No, Hashem, great. How are you? Like, what are you doing?
They live in another world.
Yeah. The question is what I'm doing at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But what's wrong? Always available. Remember that. So look for what's right. What is available? How can I solve it? How can I do it? Life too short to suffer. Enough. So if you face it, surrender. How can I trust Hashem? How can I let it go? Let it go to the past. Make it a different interpretation. Make it sweetness. To think that, oh, my problems is my gift. To make the separation what I have, what I don't have. To minimize it. To surrender, not to fight. But if I need to fight, go do something about it. Just don't let yourself to be freeze. Because you're suffering and you're not growing. And you don't get the message. If you don't get the message today, it's going to come from a different door. Do you think you want to get rid of the problem? Whatever you're facing right now, Hashem wants you to go through it. To get the message. How I ignore from before, how I didn't appreciate before, how I didn't work before, how I let myself to this situation, I didn't check this guy, I didn't check this situation, I didn't work enough, I was in my comfort zone. So many things. So don't try to blame others. Be responsible, be accountable. Remember we talk about it in the class, accountability versus being a victim. When you're a victim all the time, when you play a victim, which means my mom and dad, those people, he took me, he ate me, he kicked me, she took everything from me. Okay, so you're right, you're definitely right, but you want to leave it? You want to live every day? You want to talk about it? Yes. What are you getting? You like to be miskin? A lot of people like to be miskinim. You always call them, hi, how are you? Don't ask. Okay, I'm going to call you back in 5 minutes. right? You don't want to talk to them. Pick up the phone, say Baruch Hashem. Everything is amazing. Sometimes I'm suffering, sometimes I have migraines or whatever I'm going through, I'm like really not bad. Baruch Hashem, everything is okay. And it's hard. Sometimes like you want to share, say what are you going through. You want to share that you're struggling. You can be sitting here right now and you're going through hell right now. So go ask or talk to your friend. Say to someone, but just don't talk about the problems and be in the negative way all the time that you're always focusing on what's wrong. You can tell what you're going through, but always be positive in a way that you believe in God, that is always a message for me from this moment. That's what Parashat Vayishlach, connect to Parashat Vayeshev, B'ezrat Hashem. It's this week, we're going to talk about it together with Parashat Miketz next week. It's going to be Chanukah. We're going to talk about dreams, how to achieve your dreams, what's the dreams going on in our life, how we avoiding or we're rejecting or we ignoring from our dreams in life, and what is the dreams means to our life. It's a very, very amazing class. Next week, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to connect it also to Chanukah. But for tonight, you can get the message to your life to do the work, to pray to Hashem, to strengthen yourself with emunah, learn Torah, do more mitzvot. And I'm going to end by that. The Shulchan Aruch brings Siman Daled, 18 things that can cause fear. If you're not washing your hand when you wake up in the morning, you have tum'ah, you have unpureness in your hand. When you go to the cemetery and you're not washing your hand, the same thing. It's you dragging the tum'ah all around. Whatever you touch, it causes fear. When you cut your nails, when you do a haircut, when you do a lot of things, or you touch your shoes, you need to wash your hand. It can cause pachdim yavo alav, the Shulchan Aruch said. There's many things spiritually that we can clean and can work on ourselves, right? And especially if you're going to any grave or something like that. You remember somebody told me that one time he went to the cemetery to visit somebody that passed away, or askara or something, and it was the sunset, already night. He was so afraid, he was kind of shaking or whatever. He parked his car and he goes between the grave, and then somebody approached to him. He said, "Oh, you scared my life." He said, "Why are you so scared?" He said, "What do you mean? I'm afraid that if somebody dead is going to wake up suddenly." He said, "Also, when I was alive, I was afraid of it." so anyway, so this is the time that we can laugh on these fears, we can laugh on these problems, we can see it in a different way and give us a different interpretation, make it the sweetness, make it our gift, and we can be grateful what we have. And B'ezrat Hashem will get away and take away all our fears, and B'ezrat Hashem turn it to an inspiration, turn it to emunah and bitachon, and Hashem will give us B'ezrat Hashem our wishes, our salvation. Miyadit, miyad Yeshuat Hashem ke'eref ayin. Amen ve'amen. Amen, amen, amen. Would like to give my friend 5 minutes. He's also American. He came specially from Eretz Yisrael. He's doing a